Okay. Are we working? Are the words synced up with me talking here? Do I sound like a helicopter? Is there an echo? Is everybody doing okay? How's everybody been for the last 2.5 hours? All right. Good, it's looking good. Oh, man, that was obnoxious, to say the least. First of all, it's about 190 degrees in this room this afternoon. It was about 190 degrees. It's cooled off considerably. It's probably around 140. That's Fahrenheit. And I don't know the metric systems. Celsius is probably more like 900 degrees. It was very hot. It was very hot in this room. And I'm no computer whiz. I don't need to tell you that. But my hypothesis is that my computer was overheating. And so all of my gadgets that are connected were overheating as well. And the whole thing just fell apart in front of me. It wasn't nerve-wracking because I'm still like alone in this room, but understanding that there's a bunch of people who tuned in to watch this that were like, obviously concerned in the chat, but had come to be entertained and were not being entertained. That really bummed me out. It annoyed me and it bummed me out. And so I'm glad that things are working now. We can get this show going. Get you guys your Friday fix. Margarita certainly helped me. But since I've been kind of troubleshooting this entire time, I haven't planned on opening with any particular song. So if there's anything that anybody wants to hear, please let it be known in the comments. It's not easy to explain the inner workings and lack thereof in my brain. I got philosophers and politicians, saboteurs and executors who think what's best is better than the others. It takes a while and a whole lot of words. I know I make it easy, but it's not as simple as it looks. I got a lot of friends. They look at me and say I got some shit I need to work on, maybe put it in a song. What do they know? All they want is a song for them to sing along. But what do they know? All they want is a song for them to sing along. So I guess I'll sit down and write out a tune, not just therapeutic for me, but catchy enough for you. And maybe a weird analogy, but it sure does seem that you're getting therapy for free, and I don't think that's really fair to me. So how does one write a verse that doesn't come out contrived and rehearsed? I guess I'll string a few together. If the through line hits the better points to fool them into thinking I'm more thoughtful than I ever claimed to be. But where do they come from if they are not actually coming from me? But where do they come from if they are not actually coming from me? There you go, are you happy now? I just saved the universe, rhyming somehow. Another notch in the belt, a feather in my cap, another wasted afternoon when I should have been a nap. And I could be a doctor if I apply myself better. We've got the power to heal when we sing along together. It looks like you're doing good and that you gave some good advice, so I don't really need it, but a thank you would be nice. Oh, I don't really need it, but I think you'd actually be pretty nice. Oh, I don't really need it, but I think you'd actually be pretty nice. Oh, I don't really need it, I think it would be nice. You're welcome. If you celebrate a sunset, you gotta shiver through the darkness. It gets sweaty in the sunlight to be deserving of a good, good life. If you wanna be an earthling, you gotta get a little dirty. You can wait until the glory to wash it all clean. If you want to see the sunrise, you gotta get up in the morning. If you want to see the sunset, you gotta make it through the day. But if you want to take the long road, you got to get to walking. If you want to cast a shadow, you gotta get in the sun's way. But if you celebrate a sunset, you gotta shiver through the darkness, get sweaty in the sunlight to be deserving of a good, life. If you want to be an earthling, you gotta get a little dirty. You can wait until the glory to wash it on clean. If you want to see time fly, you gotta be patient. But if you want to be the right guy, you gotta make a few changes. But if you want to be the bad boy, you gotta make a few enemies. If you want to be remembered, you gotta make a few memories. But if you celebrate a sunset, you gotta shiver through the darkness and get sweaty in the sunlight to be deserving of a good, good life. If you wanna be an earthling, you gotta get a little dirty. You can wait until the glory to wash it on clean. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Oh, this land was made for you and me. Life was full of bad choices and stupid decisions and terrible voices and even worse lyrics. But if you never stick your neck out, then you'll never be the greatest. You'll always be the worst at ever being famous. But if you celebrate a sunset, you gotta shiver through the darkness and get sweaty in the sunlight to be deserving of a good, good life. If you wanna be an earthling, you gotta get a little dirty. You can wait until the glory to wash it on clean. If you ever wanna stand out, you gotta join the crowd. But if you wanna be heard, you gotta get a little loud. Sounds like people are having issues once again with getting into the video via Patreon, but that's because you have to refresh the page. It is a brand new post, and it doesn't refresh on its own like Facebook does sometimes. So you just have to refresh the page, and then it will be right there. It'll say episode 34 or whatever it is, and then you just click play, and then you go down to the right-hand corner, click on the little YouTube link, and it takes you to the YouTube. In the fall I was a sinner, in the spring I was a saint. That snow seemed to fall forever, and the flowers bloomed too late. And the way you said you loved me wouldn't mean that much to some, but I love yous don't come often, at least not for everyone. And I've been walking down the soles of my shoes, and I've been going out at night till the hour that I choose. And I don't ever ask for nothing, and I get nothing in return, 'cause I've been walking just to feel sunlight burn. And all the poets fill the spaces where the silence used to be, and the painters show us places beyond what our eyes can see. Guys like me will always write our songs of living on the run, but these songs don't come too often, at least not for everyone. And I've been walking down the soles of my shoes, and I've been going out at night till the hour that I choose. And I don't ever ask for nothing, and I get nothing in return, 'cause I've been walking just to feel sunlight burn. There are stories that are worth telling, but you'll never hear me tell. Things that I am not too proud of, things that I have not done well. I wouldn't say I was a boy who became a man in that lonely place. I'd say I was a man already, now with more wrinkles on his face. And I've been walking down the soles of my shoes, and I've been going out at night till the hour that I choose. And I don't ever ask for nothing, and I get nothing in return, 'cause I've been walking, oh, I've been walking just to feel sunlight burn. Whoa, 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 burn. Saw through the smoke, the roof began to splinter. I am burning from the inside out, my skin begins to blister. My bones will turn to dust, and you'll get away just fine. But I promise I'll come back and haunt you till the end of time. I am not an evil man, but sources say that I was cursed the day I was born. But I am not so much a man these days. away his women, you can take away his weapons, you can take away his whiskey, you can bury him in prison, but you can't take away that fire that seems to burn from deep within when it's the only thing he's got. A man will wear it on his skin. So now on my dying day, I'll stand to write the devil's name upon my door. When I get to the gates of hell, send someone up so they can take me down below. But he sat me down a young tender age and he said to me, now son, you can't just get down your knees and expect to be forgiven. You won't cocky son of a bitch to think you've got a place in heaven. And so now on my dying day, I'll be a sinner till I fall lifeless on the floor. When I get to the gates of hell, send someone up so they can take me down below. To the gates of hell, send someone up so they can take me down below. Oh, hello, Sharon Hobbs. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Sharon Hobbs is my former principal in grade school, and she was to call her the principal, I think, does her a disservice. She was my friend, and I got sent to the principal's office sometimes, very rarely. However, I found myself in the principal's office many times, not because I was in any sort of trouble, but because I wanted to hang out with my friend. And she would let me skip class from time to time based on how engaged our conversations were when I'd show up right around the end of recess. And I cherish those times. It's good to see you, Sharon Hobbs. Got a bunch of other folks in here. We got Evan. Evan, your birthday is the same as my mom's birthday, November 1st. Different year, obviously. We got Diego. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming. We got Tammy. We got Tyler Georgeson. We got my mom and my dad. We got Colleen. We got a bunch of other folks up here while I was playing. We got the Reddy family. We got the Bishops. We got Patrick, Melissa. I saw Katie up there, a ways back. We got Boris. Yeah, got Dave. Good little crew. We got a good crew. We got Genevieve. Cool. Oh, we got Dan and Judy Casey. it's funny, Danielle, I was right before I went live, I was thinking it'd be fun to play This Time It's Over. And so I tried to figure it out in time, but I only got halfway through. So we could do an experiment. I could try to play This Time It's Over. I haven't played it in a long time. I don't have the lyrics in front of me either. But we could see. Let me get a little tune up here. It was very, very hot in this room, and guitars don't handle heat very well. Still too hot for me in this room. That's why I have this big-ass fan right next to me. It is not doing as much as I want it to do. Everybody vote? Did people vote yet? Who hasn't voted yet? Diego, obviously you're in Colombia, so it's different for you. But for all the Americans in this room, how many of you have voted? And who hasn't voted? And are you planning on voting? And if you aren't planning on voting, can I take a minute to convince you to vote? I honestly don't, well, I do care who you vote for, but for the purpose of this conversation, I don't care who you vote for. I just want you to vote. It's so vitally important. We have such a small group of registered voters in this country, and then a smaller group even then that doesn't even use that civic duty in the ways that they should. You know, we barely, I think in the 2016 election, we only 55% of eligible voters voted. Things are happening that are shaping our country that we can control if 100% of us all voted. So when we whine and complain about the things that aren't happening that benefit, us poor working folk, we only have ourselves to blame. I knew all you guys would vote. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be those types of people that wouldn't vote and then watch something like this. I should have more faith in you guys. I apologize. Little Pepsi voted. Let's try This Time It's Over. I think I use a capo on So this week, all of the donations for the show, I found a charity that I want to give 50% of them to, and that's my friend Sarah. She was in a horrible car accident. She's from the band called The Real Sarahs, and one of the Sarahs, Sarah Songbird, was in a horrible accident with her partner last week. And needed 3 surgeries up until today. And the accident was only a handful of days ago. And she will need an extensive recovery. And so 50% of the donations today will go towards her GoFundMe. I'm going to deviate from the fire relief for a moment just to help out another musician in need right now. But let's see what we got here. I've a right mind to think that this time it's over. Oh, I've a right mind to think that this time it's done. Oh yeah, but every single time I think I'm in my right mind, you come back around and make everything fine. So I have a right mind to think this time I'm wrong. setting, you are glad the night has come. When my cup is overflowing, you're always looking for a bigger cup. When I'm moving out towards the city, you are moving out towards the hill. I just hope that someday we can agree on some place where we can meet up in the middle. Oh, I have a right mind to think that this time it's over. Oh, I have a right mind to think that this time it's done. Oh yeah, but every single time I think I'm in my right mind, you come back around and make everything fine. I got a right mind to think this time I'm wrong. When you shake it all about, you were shaking up my heart, you were shaking me to the core. My mind is in the gutter, but my feet are lifting off the floor. Oh, and I know that someday that these feelings will go away, but the suspicions still seem to grow. I hope that all my disillusion, someday I hope that my confusions, all those disillusions, I can just go with the flow. I have a right mind to think that this time it's over. Oh, I have a right mind to think that this time it's done. Oh yeah, but every single time I think I'm in my right mind, you come back around and make everything fine. I have a right mind to think that this time I'm wrong. I let the motor run, waiting for you to come out of the rain. Could you stop to pause so you can sharpen your claws? You are the eye of the hurricane. You say we're about to go through hell, but I think this time it's gonna be okay. Yeah, well, I have a right mind to think that this time it's over. Oh, I have a right mind to think that this time it's done. Oh yeah, but every single time I think I'm in my right mind, you come back around and make everything fine. So I have a right mind to think that this time I was wrong. And I have a right mind to think that this time I was wrong. Yeah, I have a right mind to think that this time I was wrong. And I have a right mind to think that this time I was wrong. Whew. Let's see if this works.
So Sam told the story of his great-grandfather in his song Lady Liberty. The true story is like this. Sam Chase, born Sedya Dov Cheyason, came to the United States probably at the end of the 19th century. He disembarked in Boston, and he only spoke Yiddish. He didn't know Russian, he didn't know English, and he was seeking directions to a relative's house, and he found an Irish cop who knew this Jewish gentleman, Mr. Gordon, who owned a dry goods store, and he took my grandfather to that dry goods store, and they understood where he wanted to go, and Mr. Gordon sent his daughter to take my grandfather to where he was going. So he established himself in America, and he established an umbrella factory. And in those days, umbrellas were fashion accessories, beautiful handles that were carved or ivory, wood, and just beautiful and beautiful fabrics in the umbrellas. And it was a big business, and he became fairly wealthy. He fell in love with his secretary, and he wanted to ask her for her hand in marriage. When he went to meet her parents, he comes in and he starts laughing. And my grandmother's father said, "Well, what's so funny that you find that you laugh at me?" And he's saying this in Yiddish, probably. And my grandfather says, "Well, it's just that when I came to this country 20 years ago, you sent your young daughter with me to show me where I was going. And by happenstance, I hired her when she was grown up as a secretary in my business, and I fell in love with her. And I would like to ask you for her hand in marriage." And that was my grandmother, Lillian Gordon, who became Lillian Chase. And that's the story of Lady Liberty.
Here I hit the eastern seaboard, where I feel younger than I ever had before. Where I figured 2 months at sea it hardened me, but I found the water was still softer than the shore. I don't know what it brought me to that place, land of the angry and disgraced, where no one thought that good behavior ever gets you to your savior. 2 feet above the ground was man's only reward. Dark streets of poverty, take me in and carry me, and show me what I need to make my own. Show me what I need to make my own. I spent enough time just trying to get by, with all them jobs that kept me up all day and night. So I made my way to Massachusetts with nothing but sea salt in my pockets, and a dream that seemed to fade every time I woke. And it's about that time you came into my life, not long after you agreed to be my wife. You saw me for what I am, which was not a wealthy man. But since that day I've been the richest man alive. Dark streets of poverty, take me in and carry me, and show me what I need to make my own. Sweet Lady Liberty, look at what you made of me. Oh, you have no idea what harm you've done. You have no idea what harm you've done. Not much sense in dwelling on the past. My bones are brittle and as breakable as glass. So I lie here in my bed, going over in my head all those things in life that I was told last. So now I'm just living out my final days, and every chance I get, put flowers on your grave. But now that I am an old man, I'm older than I've ever been, getting older by the minute, I've been told. Dark streets of poverty, take me in and carry me, and show me what I need to make my own. Sweet Lady Liberty, look at what you made of me. Oh, you have no idea Letty family requested that one earlier today. Man, it's hot as hell in here. Oh, but I'm glad everything's working now. I've managed to exercise the demons of errant technology, and I feel much better. Could be the booze talking. Could be. Probably is. So I did the math today, and I posted it on the Patreon, whatever this is called. Oh, I got it here on YouTube too. This is episode number 32. This is the 32nd week of this live stream, and I started doing these live streams right around the time that we saw the writing on the wall that the world was going to close down for a while. I think my first one was on March 13th, and I've done it every single Friday without fail since then. And next Friday is going to be the first Friday that I'm not going to be going live. And that's due to the fact that I am playing a live show on Saturday up in Tahoe at an actual legitimate indoor venue. I'm playing a show solo at the Crystal Bay Casino in Tahoe. Sierra County is doing really, really well with their COVID precautions. I know that this is it's literally on the other side of the border. And they told me all of the precautions that they're taking, incredibly strict security, temperature checks, mandatory masks, and it's a huge room that could fit like 1,000 people, but only 130 people are being let in, and there are 2 shows, so 130 people each show. And so I'm gonna head up to Reno on Friday and record in the Loudest Folk recording studio. I'm gonna record 8 songs, about 35 minutes of music at least, for the Loudest Folk Record Club. And you all should join the Loudest Folk Record Club. You can just Google it. I don't know the website. Probably loudestfolk.com. But the Loudest Folk Record Club is basically Spike McGuire has been, I call him the King of Reno. He is a music promoter. He's a musician himself, and a kind of a curator of all of the artists around Reno, and has. Because of COVID, there's no shows, there's nothing going on. He created a record club, Loudest Folk Record Club. So he's got all his musicians' friends coming together at different points and recording in his studio. And then that album will be then released to the record club. And so I'm going in on Friday to record 35 minutes of music for the Sam Chase Loudest Folk Record Club collection. And it's all one take. It's all just a guitar, vocal mic, just like we're right here. And just record it straight to tape, and then they send it out to people. And I can't release it myself until 8 months from now. But if you all join the record club, you guys get the record too. And maybe you can tell me, within the next week what songs you might want on that record. But if anybody is in Tahoe, and I know some of you are, in the area at least, come to the show. Come hang out at a distance with a mask on. Oh, the Bishops already have their tickets. Do you guys have tickets to the early show or the late show? There's an early show at 7:30, and then the late show, I believe, starts at 10:30. And whichever one you're coming to, I'll probably talk a lot of shit about the other show during the show that you're at. And if you come to both, I'll talk shit about both shows. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's play another song. Oh, da 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 da. Don't let me die middle-aged. All right. Expects the night to come when the sun's still in the sky, and no one thinks they've won the race with no finish line in sight. No one writes just half a song and expects it to be a hit, and no one gets over the hump and then decides to quit. No one's ever told you much without getting to the point. No one sets their sights on NYC and then settles on Des Moines. And no one tells a story without a beginning or an end. It's the middle that's forgotten and never heard of again. Don't let me die middle-aged. Don't let me die middle-aged. I'm too young to die old and too old to die young today. Don't let me die middle-aged. Don't let me die middle-aged. The sun rises and sets as we forget about the day. Climbs up half a mountain and then decides to stop. If so, you ain't no mountain climber. Boy, you've just gone for a walk. You hear finish what you start, and once you start, you see it through. You hear no one likes a quitter, even if that's not always true. You hear it's better to die young. You hear those stars burn the most bright. But you also hear a life well lived is to have lived a good long life. But you never hear those middle years are the best times to go. Once you've settled with a wife and kids, man, that's the time to blow. Don't let me die middle-aged. Don't let me die middle-aged. I'm too young to die old and too old to die young today. Don't let me die middle-aged. Don't let me die middle-aged. The sun rises and sets as we forget about the day. After the beginning is the middle, or after the middle is the ending. It really is that simple. But if you rate from best to worst, which of these you most prefer, the middle always comes in last, which is not the way it works. 'Cause no one thinks the ending comes in the middle of the book. There are so many more pages, and someday we'll have a look. What's read is in the past, and what we read is yet to come. But now's not as exciting as what we'll do or what we've done. Don't let me die middle-aged. Don't let me die middle-aged. I'm too young to die old and too old to die young today. Don't let me die middle-aged. Don't let me die middle-aged. The sun rises and sets as we forget about the day. There's just as much to do, and there's just as much to say as all that I have done and all that I have said. I almost need another margarita. Maybe after this song I will show you guys a music video or something. A lot of requests from the Almost Done album, which is this one? Nope. But you should join my Patreon. If any of you are not patrons on Patreon yet, you all should join the Patreon. Is it this one? There we go. Yeah, a lot of people have been requesting from Almost Done, so I'll just keep that in the corner there. People wishing for more wishes don't know what they're missing. Seeing my only real wish is for more days just like this. I know it sounds a little sappy, but I wish that at least once I could cry because I was happy, not because I wasn't. Oh, these are the thoughts that I have when I'm not thinking about much. Some people are shaking heads, some people are shaking hands, shaking when they are agreeing, shaking when they just can't stand it. Some shaking up and down, some shaking side to side. We should all agree that this word isn't properly defined. Oh, these are the thoughts that I have when I'm not thinking about much. I am just another white guy with a guitar. It's hard to really stand out when I walk into the bar and I just see another me standing up there playing. People say my songs are better, or at least that's what I've been saying. Oh, these are the thoughts that I have when I'm not thinking about much. Thoughts about this and that, these and those, and such and such. It's only when I'm writing songs that I'm thinking about dying, but feels that writing about my life without death just feels like I'm denying it. The journey's not a destination, and the future ain't the past. If it actually was, I might have saved a lot on gas. Oh, these are the thoughts that I have when I'm not thinking about much. songs are fragile. They can pack a punch. They're delicate but unbreakable, and you can look but you can't touch. Oh, people say music is medicine. Oh, don't be so dramatic. Where I think Tylenol is medicine, this music here is magic. Oh, these are the thoughts that I have when I'm not thinking about much. Oh, thoughts about this and that and these and those and such and such. And these are the songs that I sing. Oh, you can look but you can't touch. These are the thoughts that I have when I'm not thinking about much. You know, Diego, that comment, that humorous comment, that's deep. I do think, and I'm not joking, that does have kind of like a, you know, I read a lot of songs about people way older than me, but not about characters way older than me, but myself when I'm older, singing back to myself when I'm younger. And a lot of the songs that I've sung tonight are songs like that. And you know, it's one thing to be in your glory days, but it's another to be able to understand that you won't be in your glory days forever, and to embody that before you reach it, I think is key to staying youthful, in that understanding that, you know, age isn't, you know, to be cliche, isn't a number, but it's a spectrum. And one thing that I always kind of like humorously say, which I feel like comes off like mostly a dad joke, is, you know, right now I've never been this old before, so I don't really know what it's like, you know. And I think like it's like walking into a party and not really knowing anybody yet. And you know, I'm always, on my birthday, I'm always the youngest person of that year that I know. So I like that. And my buddy Nico actually said something to me on the phone the other day that tickled me similarly. I wrote it down here. And it was, and I want to put it into a song someday. But he said, when I was young, I thought that getting old only happened to old people. And that made me, and I was like, oh, the simplicity is what makes it so brilliant. Because it's true. You know, you never really understand, and you know, it's kind of like you think that switching from childhood to adulthood is some kind of a light switch until you're experiencing it and you realize it's more of a dimmer. So, appreciate your comment. My dad really wants to hear mayflies. Like, he really, really wants to hear mayflies. Really bad. So let's play a music video while I get myself another margarita. Maybe we'll do, let's do a Squaddle commercial.
What? What? Huh? What day is it? What? I've been making squaddles for 5 months? Are people playing shows again? Can I go on tour? Oh, God. Guess I better sell some stuff. How does this go? Hi, I'm Hi, I'm Austin Quattlebaum, forgotten banjo player and CEO of Squaddle Stools International. I'm excited to announce a new division of our company, Birdwood Garage Works. I call it that because I paint birds on wood in my garage. I also make other stuff out of wood, not just squaddles. I made these. They're coffee tables for coffee or a plant or something. I made these. It's just a little bench, mostly for sitting. Just a good little bench. Like I mentioned, I also paint birds on wood. Now available in barn owl, great horned owl, osprey, blue heron, red-tailed hawk, and canyon wren. I also still make lots of squattles. I've made over 150. The Squattle Grande is now available in redwood. I also make fancy boards for when you're feeling fancy. You can put your cheese on it. You can put some crackers on it. You can put your charcuterie on it. Well, I guess until COVID goes away, I'll be here making stuff I don't know how to make. Just wishing I was playing shows. So log on to squattlestools.com for some cool stuff for your house. Playing banjo. Or check out our Etsy page for even more offerings.
Please wear a mask. Please wear a mask so we can play shows again. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Anybody purchase any squattles lately? Let's get this out of here. Get out of there. Austin Squattle Bomb, everyone. My squattle is right there. You can't really see it in the dark there. Yeah. I put a router on it. You can put a router on it. That lighting looks all right. All right. I'm gonna keep it there. Kind of twist myself. Does he not number the squattles? Number the squattles. Whatever. I'm not gonna go over there. All right, Dad. You're getting mayflies. Just a reminder that half the proceeds from today's show will go towards Sarah Songbird's recovery after her horrible accident. So when you're giving to me for the show, understand that you're not only giving to a songwriter in need, but you're also giving to another songwriter who's, needing this much more than me. Every solution needs a problem, and every workhorse needs to be run. You say it's so easy with the wind at your back, but I like it when it blows at my front. The birds have stopped singing in the garden, or as the sun loses its battle to the night. The fox is in the hen house serving chicken noodle soup, so it looks like we are having fox again tonight. I feel strong, hardened by the years on the hunt. Even though I grow weary, oh, I know that I can do it, I can. I know that I can do it, I can. The air is much sharper in the winter. It blows anyway and anywhere it pleases. It's not meant for breathing, it's for chugging and for wheezing as you trudge your way through into the spring. And every day is a lifetime to the mayflies. Around and our lifetime's just a moment to the mountains. So pound the pavement, let it fly, release the soil locked inside. Now that we're done, let's put it back the way we found it. I feel strong, hardened by the years, on the hunt. Even though I grow weary, I know that I can do it, I can. I know that I can do it, I can. My memory can't remember what's a dream. What is this life that I've been living in my sleep? Is it that my dreams are just a lie and as dull as my waking life? Or is my life one most people only see in dreams? Is my life one most people only see in dreams? Even though I grow weary, oh, I know that I can do it, I can. I know that I can do it, I can. I know that I can do it, I can. Oh, Lord, I know that I can do it, I can. There you go, Dad. Mayflies. It's not really a margarita that I got going on right here, though. I feel like I don't want to lie to you people. It's just tequila with a little bit of lime juice and some soda water. But it's a poor man's margarita. That's all I got. So I think this might be the last voyage of the quarantine beard, too. I'm thinking of shaving it off after this show. It served a purpose. It's looked terrible for a very long time. It's not a great beard. It mostly was a social experiment to see how far I could live my life without caring how my face looked. And I think that time is coming to a close. I'd like to be semi-good looking again. And I'm proud of what I've grown here. I'm not happy with what I've grown here, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I saw it through. So I think this is going to be the last time that you're all going to see this beard. So maybe I'll use this time to show you some fun things that I can do with it. So I don't really have much of a curly mustache. How about a curly beard? You can't really see in the light. But yeah, even though this beard is thin, there's still a lot you can do with it. Oh, you can't see it at all. Well, just know that I can make it curly cute. Never mind. That's stupid. But Kiki actually braided it and put it in like 5 braids, and I kind of looked like an upside down Coolio. But you know, I love having it. I love being able to like tug on it and stroke it while I'm thinking about things. deep issues pertaining to the universe and our place within it. What it means to only live up to 100 years on this strange rock floating out in the middle of nothing. What purpose is it to, how do we spend that 100 years to benefit everyone that comes after us? I can have those same thoughts without the beard, but I just can't look as epic while having those thoughts. But moral of the story is it looks terrible. So I'm going to shave it off tonight. This will be the end of the beard. And I know you're all sad to see it go. You're like, no, Sam, it's like a member of the band. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a member of the band that, it's like the member of the band that kind of sings out of key. It's got a lot of charisma, but is really not adding anything to the artistic process. It's just kind of getting up on stage and wowing the audience while the band looks at them and it's like, you don't even come to practice, dude. Ah. Well, Stephanie, if you really don't have your sweatshirt, which I doubt more and more is the case, and this might be just one long-running joke, I know you're coming to the show next week, then I'll give you a sweatshirt. All right. Well, what else we got here? I will not be a person that wears a cape. I'm too short to wear a cape. You know, it's like tall, skinny people can get away with wearing capes because then they look like intelligent, you know, wizards, you know, regal characters. Sherlockian intellects. But I would just look like a Dungeons and Dragons nerd if I wore a cape. Too short, too stocky for it. They're like, why is that guy wearing a cape? It's like kind of like seeing it's kind of like seeing like a 1993 Honda Civic with a spoiler on the back. You're like, that thing isn't beating anybody in a race. That thing isn't going so fast that it's worrying about aerodynamic lift. A cape doesn't make everybody a superhero. It makes some people worse than even the normal people that they wear before putting on a cape. So, to answer your question, or your statement, no capes. Capes are not comfy. You don't even feel a cape. You're thinking of cloaks. Cloaks are different. And I look boxy in a cloak. I will not wear a cloak either. No capes, no cloaks. But capes are not comfy. Capes are overkill. It's like if I wore like a, what do you call it, like a bridal veil, a 20-foot bridal veil every time I went to Safeway. It's overkill. It's pointless. My dad says he won't really miss the beard. Stern but supportive parenting, right there. This is going off the rails, Tammy. Going straight off the rails. Well, if you guys want to hear another song, put it in the comments and I'll play another song. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking about my opinion on capes and cloaks. Everyone is crazy but me? Perfect, perfect. There are so many people on my street. There are so many people on my street. There are so many people who I have yet to meet. And there are so many people on my street. And there are so many people in my town. There are so many people in my town. And there are so many people who I have to walk around. And there are so many people in my town. And there are so many people in my state. There are so many people in my state. And there are so many people to whom I can't relate. And there are so many people in my state. And that reminds me, there are so many people wearing capes. There are so many people thinking they can get away with wearing capes. And there are so many people, and it feels like I'm watching Planet of the Apes. There are so many people wearing capes. And there are so many people in this world. And there are so many people in this world. And there are so many people of whom I can't understand a word. And there are so many people in this world. And there are so many people in my thoughts. There are so many people in my thoughts. And there are so many people, and I'm convinced they're all robots. And oh, there's so many people in my thoughts, in this world, in my state, in my town, and on my street, and wearing capes. And all of them are crazy but me. Not all superheroes wear capes. I would argue that the best superheroes don't wear capes. I feel like the superheroes that do wear capes don't acknowledge their flaws. Because every superhero has a flaw. And I'm not talking about like kryptonite or anything like that. I'm talking about like, you know, their penchant for vigilantism, or their godlike delusions of grandeur, delusions of godliness. the ones that wear capes don't acknowledge that. It's the ones that don't wear capes that I feel like are more down to earth, that kind of understand the hypocrisy, of the situations that they find themselves in, and have kind of more of a kind of moral struggle with being a superhero and protecting the innocent. I feel like the ones that wear capes just beat the shit out of purse snatchers and stuff, and don't really take care of the underlying problem, which is poverty in these downtrodden cities that needs to be taken care of. So it starts from the top. I'm calling Batman out. It's like, I'm a huge Batman fan. I love me some Superman. But Batman and Superman really have to take a hard look in the mirror sometime and understand that maybe Bruce Wayne could use his vast fortunes to clean up the city rather than his, donning the cape and cowl of Batman and going out at night and not getting a good night's sleep and then not being able to run his company properly. Just use his vast wealth. Turn the Batcave into a jam room or something, or a wine cellar, and then use all that money that would have been spent on all these gadgets that are meant to tie up purse snatchers 1,000 feet above the ground, and give it to the city, or give it to decent charities that really need it, nonprofits that could use it to help clean up the crime in the city systematically rather than one at a time. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've grown up. Maybe I'm just as bad as the rest of them. Colleen, I will not be selling capes. It seems like a bad business investment. All right, well, maybe let's wrap this up, because I feel like I've done a tight 5 comedy bit that to an empty room, and everybody in the comment section is fighting me on this. But you can't convince me that I'm wrong. Sailor on the Shore? All right, yeah. Let's do Sailor on the Shore, and then we'll wrap it up with Ground Shaking. How about that? Thank you all for hanging out for so long. This is, once again, an absolute pleasure for me to be able to play for all of you. And remember that 50% of your donations will be going to a musician friend of mine who really needs it, and the rest will be going to me, who also needs it. A little less, but well, I was talking to Brandon about this yesterday, I think. And if we get to 150 patrons, every $10 patron will get a Heavy Hitters t-shirt. So we're at 122 patrons right now. So we got to get to 150 in order for that to kick in. time, my darling, see you in your dreams, leave you soaking in the darkness, sweating through your sheets. You're on the shores of tomorrow, but land is just out of reach. You're a sailor, not a soldier, so keep floating out to sea. Oh, 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 oh. You're a body of water from your head down to your feet. There's a current of fire pushing land from underneath. You're the power of the oceans, the salt of the earth. Oh, the whistle in the wind and what is growing in the dirt. Oh, 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 oh. So dream on, little darling, soon the morning's gonna come. There are monsters in the moonlight, there is work still to be done. The devil's in the details, but he's out of your control. Don't be afraid. Just make your way down to the shore. You're the strong and mighty mountains, the more makes up your bones. Your ranges off ranges crawling underneath the stones. You're the light of the fire, the darkness of the night. And while we freeze and while we burn, what is left from what is right? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. So dream on, little darling, soon the morning's gonna come. There are stories to be told and there is work still to be done. The devil's in the details, but he's out of your control. Don't be afraid. Oh, just make your way into the shore. Darling, oh, dream on, my little one. Sleep well, my little darling, 'cause soon the devil, he's gonna come. Dream on, my little darling, oh, dream on, my little one. Sleep well, my little darling, 'cause soon the devil, he's gonna come. Your demons all have fallen, but they can fall a little more. The quaking of the ground is just the burning of its core. Don't be afraid. Just make your way down to the shore. there just a skip in the video? Because I'm looking at the health of this stream, and it just dipped down to 0 and then came back up. I don't know exactly why. Diego, one of my top 3 from Great White Noise. Oh, thanks, Diego. What are the other 2? Just curious. You won't be judged based on your answers. I hadn't listened to Great White Noise in a long time, and I just ended up, yesterday I went on Spotify and I just kind of put my own songs on shuffle. And a lot of the songs from Great White Noise came up, and I was like, oh man, and it really took me aback. I hadn't listened for a while. I really liked that album, and it was a lot of fun recording that album too. And actually, for those who are familiar, Ben Morrison is actually in the same studio right now, recording some songs. It's a recording studio called New Improved in Oakland, California. Okay, Stanley skipped. Okay. Yeah, Genevieve skipped. Yeah, I probably skipped on everybody's, but I think that it's happened a few times over the course of this stream, which I don't really understand. Because I'm not an IT person. Oh, Sean, he's doing his covers EP for Kickstarter. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. You know, I've got a covers EP coming out too. But I recorded them all from home. And I'm going to hopefully be releasing one of those covers on Halloween. You guys heard it here first. I've got a Halloween cover that's being mixed right now. And actually, that song, the song that I'm going to be releasing on Halloween, was recorded a few years ago, and we just sat on it for a long time. And finally, it's getting mixed and released. So stay tuned for that. That should be fun. All right. Oh, we started recording, then COVID shut the studio down. Oh, and so it'll probably go all out to his... Oh, okay, well that makes sense. Because he just started his Kickstarter. He started his Kickstarter right after I started mine. It's close to midnight, but a man who it's on the moonlight, you start to scream. It's not Thriller, but I kind of wish it was now. Damn. Well, let's wrap this up with a little ground shaking. Thank you guys for hanging out. It really makes my week. The week flies by knowing that at the end of it I get to hang out with all of you fine folks. And I will miss you next week, but I'll see some of you in person, and that'll be fun. You'll just have to introduce yourselves to me, because I won't recognize you with half your face covered. You probably won't recognize me either, because I won't have this big old beard. You'll be at the show and being like, why is Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia playing Sam's songs up on that stage? But that'll be me. ones who hold the mirrors back on ourselves. We're the ones who point our sights on far distant horizons, marking all the moments, keeping them for later, writing all the stories so we can be remembered. But faith is what keeps us from going off the rails. For a promise of the heavens, we're willing to go through hell. We're smart enough to build a world to hide our ignorance, but not enough to cope with a meaningless existence. I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, coming from the sound of 7 billion beating hearts, twice as many stomping feet. We're the engines of the earth, we're the rhythm of the heartbeat. I see my mother, I see my father. My whole life I watched them growing older. Their time is shorter, they're not as strong as the gods that I saw in them when I was young. But I am right beside them, gaining age and wisdom, and soon I'll take their place as the older generation. And maybe I'll have kids who look at daddy growing older. We're the product of the ancients, and we're standing on their shoulders. I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, coming from the sound of 7 billion beating hearts, twice as many stomping feet. We're the engines of the earth, we're the rhythm of the heartbeat. I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, coming from the sound of 7 billion beating hearts, twice as many stomping feet. We're the engines of the earth, we're the rhythm of the heartbeat. To connect to this pulse underground, our roots must dig deeper to take hold of the very soul of the only home we've ever known. Oh, oh, oh. I feel the ground shaking, 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 I feel the ground shake, I feel the ground. If you can shoulder the weight, then lean in and keep moving. I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground. Whoa, 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 I feel the ground shaking, I feel the ground shaking. So long, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. You can donate to Venmo or PayPal. And I won't see you guys next week, but I will see you guys the week after that. And how about I leave you with a music video? But thank you, everybody, for showing up, hanging out. Appreciate you all very much. I moved a bunch of things around, so it might not pop up on the first try, but let me see if I can. How about this one? Everybody go vote.